Orla?
I don't think so. We are live right now, but maybe we can wait a little bit for some people to join. Yay! Hello, participants are there joining us. Hi there. Maybe we can start, I guess. All right. So, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Office Hours. We've got a packed agenda for today and some special guests. So we're excited to dive in. And speaking of special guests, today we're joined by Mike, a valuable member of our community who's been doing some incredible work with his app, JetMe. Mike, it's great to have you there. And we are also fortunate to have Sefa with us today, our expert engineer at Draftbit. He'll be walking us through some key features and answering some technical questions if you have. So welcome, Sefa.
Hello.
So great. So during our session, please feel free to ask any questions you may have from chat. So before we dive into the demos and Q&A, Mike, could you share a bit about your experience, your story in Draftbit so far, and actually your story? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess this all started probably about 18 months ago, my journey to build a mobile app. And it started as a cryptocurrency project, more specifically an NFT project. And I was into NFTs and crypto at the time, and I was looking for new NFTs to invest into, and I discovered a project called ETHJets. And I just reached out to the founder on Twitter, and we kind of hit it off. And next thing I knew, I was managing their Discord, and we were talking about purchasing 5 private jets for our community to use and charter. And then we started doing some more business research and looking into the private aviation industry, and we discovered that there's opportunity for empty legs. I can explain more what empty legs are here in a second, but there was big opportunity for these empty legs, and to get people, average people like myself, I'm by no means financially well off or anything. I do okay in my primary job, but I should mention this is just like a hobby basically. So we figured out a way how we could get normal people onto private jets for the cost of a commercial airline ticket by utilizing empty legs. And I can explain what an empty leg is here now. Basically, if there's a person that needs a private jet and they're in Chicago, but that the only private jet that they can get is in New York, that private jet is going to have to fly from New York to Chicago and pick them up in Chicago and then take them down to, I don't know, we'll say Miami, just for an example. So the jet is going from New York to Chicago regardless. The person has paid for it because the operator needs to recover their cost. So they've paid for that empty leg from New York to Chicago, and then they take their passenger down to Miami. So what we're doing, we're partnering with operators, and we're offering these empty legs at a heavily discounted price. And we can do that because the original booker of that flight has already paid for it for the most part. There might be some other expenses like landing fees and hangar fees and stuff like that. So really, we can offer these empty legs for an amazing price. The lowest I've seen an empty leg come in is $1,200, and that was for 6 seats on a private jet. So you'd get 6 people on there for $200 a person. Yeah, and that one was from Tulsa to Dallas. We actually had someone book it, and they put 4 people on, so it was about $350 per seat, but it was still cheaper than any commercial flight on that day at that departure time when we booked it. That wasn't through the app that we booked that was our Discord proof of concept, but now we're building out a mobile app to allow the general public to get themselves on a private jet for relatively cheap. We've seen flights from Las Vegas to Los Cabos in Mexico for $7,200, and again that was for 6 people. And commercial flights there were going to cost about $800 a person, so we're pretty reasonable there. We're slightly higher than the commercial cost, but it's interesting to see the flights coming in here that we're posting in our app in test flight right now. So that's kind of what our app does. I have no background in aviation, private aviation or commercial aviation. I'm a mechanical engineer by trade. I do analytics for a major oil and gas company here in Canada. So the reason I chose Draftbit and Xano as my backend were they're low code. They make it easy for me to work on it in my spare time at lunch, at home. They're all online tools that I can use, and I can code. I'm proficient in SQL, Python, R, JavaScript a little bit, mostly HTML, CSS. So I can code, but I love having the low code ability, drag and drop, formatting, all that it's amazing that I don't have to code at all because I code for my full-time job. It's nice just to be able to pull in components and make them do what I want with very little code. But the reason I chose Draftbit was that it can handle custom code, and the custom code abilities have really gone through they've really seen improvements since I signed up for Draftbit. It was over a year ago, I think. Started this in December, signed up for Draftbit around April. So we've been with Draftbit for, I guess, just over 16 months now. So it's the reason I chose it is the flexibility, and just the one button push publish has been amazing for getting our app onto devices via test flight. A lot of the functionality that we have within our app doesn't work unless you have it on a device. So it's been great for that.
Yeah, great. I mean, have you used other app building platforms before? I mean, have you have any other experiences other than
I
Draftbit?
haven't used any other app building services. Basically, everything I build in my full-time job, we do a lot of dashboards, reports for our company. We're the kind of the internal analytics team. So basically, everything I do is right from scratch with CSS, HTML, JavaScript, and then other programming languages to bring in advanced plots and stuff. So this is the first low-code tool that I've chose. And I did look at other options, and I really just liked how Draftbit and Xano just work so well together. Yeah, that's why I chose to go with you guys. So
Yeah.
We're glad that you did.
Yeah. I'm just curious about the Jatme app. You said that it was a crypto NFT project, right?
yeah, so originally it was a crypto NFT project. We've actually since pivoted back to just being, I don't know, I call ourselves a Web 2.5 company. So we still have our NFT project, but we've been trying to find investors to help us grow this after app launch. And as soon as we mention NFT or crypto, investors get turned off really fast right now, just with the market conditions, mostly in the United States, and the regulations and uncertainty. So we've pivoted back to just being a normal Web 2 company. We still have the Wallet Connect functionality that Maruf helped build out as part of the expert service there that we signed up for it's still in our Draftbit app. It's just turned off right now. All the endpoints, we still actually check for the crypto stuff, but we're not marketing it that way right now. But yeah, Draftbit, it was fully capable of handling the crypto and the NFT side. So between Xano and Draftbit, we were able to pull that off. So.
I see. So I just wonder if you have, what are the specific challenges you faced when, initially integrating maybe crypto elements to your app, or any other challenges you faced while building the app?
For us, the biggest uncertainty and the biggest challenge, I guess, was the uncertainty of Apple's approval. Apple has very, very specific but vague at the same time guidelines on crypto apps. So that was always in the back of our mind. We always wanted to make sure we weren't violating any of those rules, and then the rules would change. So it has been nice just taking it out. We don't have to worry about the rules right now. But the one thing, and I'm sure anyone in crypto or NFT stuff, was trying to find trusted sources of Web3 data, Web3 APIs that we could use, and lots would be great. They'd work for a couple of weeks, and then the support would just go away. So with Web3, it was interesting to try and find that trusted source that we could use that would work with a Web2 product. We could go full on decentralized and host our own node and everything, but we also wanted to work in a Web2 environment. So we kind of wanted to bridge the gap. So from a development side, that was really hard to find the trusted APIs. I've definitely found them. If anyone wants to dabble in that space, they can DM me and I can share that with them offline for sure.
Yeah, I see. You said that the low code feature of Draftbit is very beneficial for you. But are there any other specific features, in Draftbit that you found exceptionally beneficial for your app's development?
For us, it was the ability to add in the custom packages. We have some linear gradient stuff going on with our UX designer. Sean's great. He has all kinds of beautiful. I'll say our screens are beautiful. I love the look of them, and we needed the flexibility of Draftbit to be able to pull in some custom packages to make those happen. So that was one of the major things. Initially, when we started, we were just going to have 5 jets of our own, and we wanted to be able to see those on a map. And at that time, Draftbit didn't have the ability to do map support other than custom code. And over the course of 12 months or 14 months, whatever it's been, that's been added as just a native feature. You just click add a map and you can see it. It clusters your markers. So just one of the things that I like about Draftbit is you guys do bring on new components, new elements quite frequently here the last 6 months. Even I can't even keep up to all the new stuff because I'm too busy trying to make what I have work and get published into the App Store. Right now we're just in test flight. I see there's actually a question in the chat saying that they can't find it in the App Store, and that's because we're just in test flight right now. Our submission to Apple should occur by the end of the month, first week of September, we're hoping. So just in the final debugging stages right now.
Yeah, great. Speaking of which, about map component, actually today Sefa will demonstrate how to use map components and additional features. Right, Sefa?
Yeah, I have a demo page that will help people to use map component as a location picker kind of thing. So I just first of all, let me introduce myself. I am Sefa from the experts team. I'm one of the experts on Draftbit. So what we do is we're trying to build apps for our customers in the highest level. So from time to time, we need to implement some new things in our apps. So today, I'm just gonna show a couple of those. And speaking of the experts theme, I think Mike, you have chosen one of our experts plan in the past. So, how was your experience with us? Like, did you enjoy your time with the experts? Did we provide good service for you?
Yeah, so me having a full-time job outside of the app that I'm building here, JetMe app, it was definitely it was nice to have the experts because I could basically talk to Murray. We could come up with a plan for what he was going to work on the front end side, and I'd make sure the APIs endpoints were there for him on the back end, and it was great. They helped me out with a lot of the custom features. The Wallet Connect, I had tried Wallet Connect, I don't know, 3 or 4 times on my own, and I couldn't make it work. And Marif was able to pull it off, make it work. It's unfortunate that it's not going to be in V1 of our release. We still have plans to implement it down the road when market conditions warm up to crypto and everything. But we're hoping the work that we've done now, prior to now, we'll just be able to turn that functionality on, do a resubmission to Apple, and fingers crossed everything goes well for that, and we'll be ahead of the curve because uh, our opinion is Apple and Google they're going to embrace crypto and NFTs at some point. I think the delay is probably because they want to make sure they have all their ducks in a row, and we're hoping that we can be one of the first ones out there with an app that's in both stores that's crypto enabled and has all the native features that people are used to on an app versus the crummy features that Web3 and crypto people are used to having to go through a web-based app. So it's just nice to have those native components, and we couldn't have pulled the Wallet Connect and the crypto stuff off without Maruf and his help. So
I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, Marv is one of our best experts in the team. So thank you, Marv, again.
Yeah, we have a very dedicated team. Really, each of our members are just very hardworking engineers, and yeah. And also, apart from you mentioned that at least we have upcoming features for the upcoming weeks, and I think you will leverage those in your app as well. But if you like, so for those who might be new to this, maybe Safa, can you walk us through a basic setup of the map components in a project? And while that, we can continue to speak and
Of
talk
course.
about it.
Let me share my screen first. So this was a part of a experts app. So instead of showing that app, I've created a new demo for this thing. So, like for example, in this app, we are using 3 different styles of custom codes, and one of which was this drawer animation that we have here. This is not a built-in feature in Draftbit, but it can be easily done using some custom codes, which I will be showing you in a minute. And what Rumeysa is asking me for, like, to demonstrate, is this new address picker that I have created here for this app. So, for example, in this app, we have a map component where we can drag and drop our pinpoints so that we can precisely select our address. So once we drop our pinpoint, yeah, this is my address, and then by this way I can just only type some name, my home kind of thing, and I can be able to add this address to my address list. So, but yeah, let me show you, like, in summary, how this screen works. So, like, as you can see, there's not much here in terms of components, and we barely used some custom components to make this function work. Let me go to my add address page. So first of all, this screen has three parts. One of which was searching for address. Like, for example, the Fifth Avenue, and you can be able to see some addresses coming up, and you can just pick your location and then continue. I have just a small bug on the web view. I could just show it to you on the mobile app later on. So this is the first part where you search for the address. The second part is to select precisely where your address is, or you can actually, let me open it on my iOS device so that I can show you all the features in once. Whilst loading, let me tell you how I did this. First of all, we have a container for the map, and that has to be a fixed width and the height. So for this component, I just chose 400 pixels for the height of the screen. So it looks like kind of square, but it's not exact square. And inside that, I have a map component that is filling out entire container. And on the top of that map, I have a absolutely positioned icon marker. So I just want to place the center of the map, because that center is what I'm going to use to select the point that I just want to save. So in order to place this point on the middle of the screen, I just used a small function called getX. So what I do is just I give the total length of the, for example, the window width, divide by 2, and the item length, which is the width of the marker, and divide by 2, and just place it on the center of the screen. So I provide the window width and the length of the item, which is 40 in this case. And I do the same for the height. I know that the height of the map is 400, and length of the height of the marker is 50. So that's how I place the mark on the center of the map. And on the map component that we have here, we have a change on the region change trigger. So this trigger gives us the center point of the map. So that's basically where I want to select, actually. So this is how the system all works. It's so simple idea, but it looks and it feels so natural to use this component to add your addresses. And for example, I just can zoom in and just precisely select my address. If I'm not happy with this, I can modify the values accordingly and just save my address that way. Or I can just go to my location. Once the map is updated, my all data is here updated. I can just type in anything else, or let's go to somewhere in New York. I can just fly around and just add my address accordingly. So this is what I did for the address picker implementations. Show you my drawer. From that, yeah, this is a feature that a lot of our customers are looking for, like reusable components. So sometimes, once when you're in the screen, you create a component, a view that you want to be able to use in different screens. But right now, what you have to do is just to duplicate the same component over and over again and use them in this screen. So for example, this screen can easily be built in the entire the same screen, but once you want to change the color of this drawer on the top, you have to go to each of your screen and change it by yourself. Yeah, this is a feature that we will be adding to Draftbit sooner or later. We're going to call them reusable components. It's going to act like this. But my way of implementing this, let me show you. I have a screen called drawer here. And in this screen, I just create whatever I want to see on a drawer. This is not an actual screen. This is something that I will be using in my other screens. And on my custom code, I have a small custom code here. This might look long, but let me tell you what it exactly do. So in this code, I import the drawer screen onto my custom code. I will tell you how I do it in a minute. So this is the screen that I've just created on another screen. And yeah, first of all, since this is a drawer, and let me show it to you one by one. I just don't want to go into very deep, but since when the drawer is open, we would like to be able to close it on clicking elsewhere. So that's why we have to create this view. So at the first level in this custom component, we have a view that is absolutely covering all the screen, and which is going to be on the top of the everything. Then inside this, I have a touchable without feedback component. This will be hiding the drawer whenever I click on it. So anywhere, and on the top of that, I have an animatable view. There's a custom component that you can use on your other applications. It's called React Native Animatable package. So this is basically for that little fade in and fade out animations that I was doing while opening the drawer. But instead of doing this, you can just render the component itself, but it's just adding a small and nice animation to the drawer while we're opening it. And inside this animated drawer, I'm just rendering my drawer. That's all it does. And in order to show and hide my drawer, I created a global variable here. It says show drawer. So inside my function, all I do is just setting that property either true or false. So by this way, yeah, I import my drawer and I show it here, and like clicking elsewhere will close it. Is that easy? And yeah, we can go a little bit more deep into it if you have any questions, but I also wanted to show you something else, which is a slightly easier approach to this thing. And in this app, we also wanted to be able to implement some image gallery, because this app will have some features to create some promotions, and those promotions has to be using some images, and we would like to be able to reuse those images from time to time. So instead of uploading that images over and over again, for example, this is our form, and these are two image components that we want to upload. So clicking on this will bring us our library for images, and we can select, we can upload new images. For example, yeah, let's upload this again. We can use this. We can just switch back and do all those stuff. And this is the exact same approach that we did. So we have another screen here. This is the image gallery. And in this image gallery, we have a model that is showing that image gallery that I have created. This is such a simple component that you can do and build in Draftbit. And on the screen, we have a screen variable that sets the selected image and stuff. And let me show you the custom code for this. This is the image gallery component. So similar to what we did in the drawer, we import that screen into this custom component first, and all we do is just render it. So inside my form, let me show my form again, not add item. I have an image picker custom component. So in here, I import my image gallery and image gallery.picker. I've got like some custom components that can be assigned using the navigational prompts. And I'm just, I want this custom code to be able to change the screen variable called hero image in this screen. So whenever I select some item from this image picker, it will be updating the screen image on this add item screen. As you can see, and like, for example, I can demonstrate that as well. So for example, in this screen, wait, second. Yeah, for
Wow,
example, detail image is here.
stuff.
Sorry.
Really, so cool stuff.
Thank you. It's so easy, like, and we have a hero image. So these are the screen variables that we are using at this screen. And for example, I have a custom function here, which is a custom validation form. So whenever, if I haven't selected an hero image, it's not going to let me continue submitting my form. So for example, when I proceed, you have to select the banner image. And when I come here and select an image, now my hero image variable is not null. It's selected, it's updated within the screen so that I can continue. But yeah, this, as you can see, it's almost no custom code needed. It's like, yeah, we some from time to time we do need some custom functions to calculate the positions and everything for absolute designs. But as you can see, this is how you can implement these kind of screens into other screens. And yeah, let me show you how I did it. So for example, if this is the screen that I want to use in another screen, what you have to do is you have to come to your code view, and inside here you will see the name of your screen. So if your screen, actually, yeah, you can just automatically do it. If you name your screen image gallery picker, your screen name will always be image gallery picker screen. So if my screen is just image, it's going to be image screen. So that's how I import this custom shade screen into this custom function. So you call like whenever in any custom file, this is the folder that this screen is there. So like you have to go one level below, and inside there there's screens, and on the top of that you have your image gallery picker screen. So once you have this, you'll be able to use it in anywhere in this custom code. So that's how I do it on the drawer as well. So yeah, let's have a look at the drawer again. Yes, this again one
Again,
level up,
it's just
screens and
custom component, right?
exactly. So like you can, like, you have this feature in Draftbit, you can export your app, and you will see all the file structures on your app. So you will have like, if you want to go into deep side of the custom codes, you'll be able, yeah, our file structure, folder structure is very clean. You can be able to use anything that you've been using in your screens manually in the custom codes. So yeah, these are the two examples that I wanted to show you so that you can bring your screens as components to your other screens. So like a nested kind of screens kind of implementations. But at the end of the day, yeah, your app looks cool this way. Yeah. So this is how we
So
implemented this.
yeah, thank you, Sefa. Yeah, this is how our expert engineers in Draftbit are. Thank you, Sefa. So cool stuff, really.
No worries.
So by the way, we have some questions for Mike on chat, and I know that you already answered them, but since it's recording, maybe you can answer them again. So Lorenzo asks, what is the process like to get approved by Apple with Draftbit? Other than debugging, what did you wish you learned before submitting? Yeah.
Well, I have not submitted yet, but one of the things that I would suggest to do when you do publish to test flight, go in there and check out all the options that are under there's a whole slew of options on the left-hand side there. Because actually, I was just in there last night, and it looks like we're going to need our legal team to draft a privacy policy and all kinds of stuff that you wouldn't, as a developer, I wouldn't think of. My wife's actually a lawyer, and she does privacy law. I should think of it, but I don't. And it's like, oh, we need to make sure we get that in the next 2 weeks. We need to disclose what we're using location for, are we using it for tracking or just app functionality? So when you do publish to test flight, I would suggest exploring your Apple Store Connect account and see what all the options are, what all the requirements are. Where we need to have marketing copy that gets displayed in the App Store. We don't currently have that. So the good thing for me is we're a team of 6, so I focus on the development. Our designers will focus on the marketing with our CEO and our other marketing guys, and the partner. I don't know what their title is. They reach out to operators and bring onboarding. They onboard new aviation companies, so they're going to work on that stuff while I work on the technical side. But there's a lot of stuff in there that Apple requires that you don't think of right off the bat. So that would be one of my suggestions.
Great. And another question was from Maral. Yeah. Hi, I'm from Turkey. I couldn't find JetMe on App Store. You will, right?
Hopefully you will in the next 3 weeks. We're just about to do the final bug testing. We rebranded from ETH which was our original crypto/NFT marketing and branding. We've kept all the same colors. Everything in the app is the same, but we have new URLs. We have a new slug and everything like that. So we just have a consistent brand in the App Store. So that took a little bit more time than we had thought. So that's set us back a little bit, but we plan to be international. We've had international operators reach out to us. So we're looking forward to that. We'll probably release in the United States initially for having actual flights available, but every country in the world should have JetMe in the App Store except for France, because of one of the requirements of the Apple submission. I cannot release it to France for some reason. I haven't dug into the details on that yet, but we won't be in France initially, but we'll be everywhere else.
Oh, wow, it's so exciting.
Not that we are going to hire a private jet, but will we be able to provide services within Turkey? I'm asking this as a person who lives in Turkey.
Yeah, like that's our goal, is to be a global service.
Nice.
We haven't released these to our Discord members that are kind of like the people that see our marketing and app testing and stuff first. They're our Discord members, where we like to keep our NFT family close to us. But we've seen flights from Los Angeles to France already. Unfortunately, France can't book that, but the people in Los Angeles can book that flight from Los Angeles to France. So yeah, we're hoping to get there soon. So
I'm sure you will.
All right. Another question from Daniel.
Hello. Rumeysa, are you
about experience with experts, Mike?
Oh, sure. I lost your audio there for a second, but yeah, I can answer Daniel's question. It was just experience with experts. What was their onboarding like? How did we measure progress? Non-disclosure IP, and are we still using the expert service? So we were onboarded with Brian and Rahul. I think Dave was actually even in that initial onboarding meeting. That was over a year ago, almost a year ago, probably 11 months ago. We kind of had that initial meeting. Progress and milestones. So we measured our progress, weekly meetings. We had a Zoom call each week. We also had a dedicated Slack channel where we could post back and forth, which was handy with the time changes between all of us, and me having a full-time job on the side. So yeah, the Slack channel was definitely definitely one of the best tools that we had for that. We currently ended our expert service just because we're on the final push here. We've got most of the heavy lifting done, so the other stuff is small cleanup that I can handle for the most part. I do still reach out to Draftbit support via intercom, or even better, I try to go through the community. So if I have a question, I'm sure other people have a question. So as part of the role in my full-time job, we provide office hours ourselves to um, help everyone in our company get better at analytics and visualization. So I'm familiar with, if someone has a question, it means that probably 5, 6 other people have that same question. So I see the value in posting to the community so everyone else can learn from the experts, Dave, Rahul, Maruf, anyone that chimes in. You're still getting that knowledge right in the community chats. You just have to be able to search for it. So try to do that now. We're off the expert service. And then non-disclosure, it was a contract that was sent to us. We reviewed it. Our legal team reviewed it. There wasn't anything that was found in there. I can't speak to that. I'm not a lawyer, so I won't go into anything more than other than there was a contract that we signed and everyone was good with that.
Great. And the next question, I think is for you, Sefa. Is it possible to use a custom map with the map components? That is, if I had a floor plan of a shopping mall, could that be fed in as the background image of the map view?
Yeah, I understand the question, but it's not currently possible using our map component. And I'm not sure if there's a third-party library that does this. If so, and if it is supported by React Native and Expo, it's 99%. I'm not gonna say like 100%, but 99% it will be supported by Draftbit. But as I told you, we have to do some research whether there is a component for this. But if we come back to the questions, we cannot use our current map component to be able to display external images like shopping mall plans or something.
Okay, and Lorenzo was asking about, do you have recordings available from past office hours? Yes, you can reach those on our YouTube channel, and we will post it on YouTube channel as well. And another question, will a navigation drawer widget be available anytime soon, like in the near future?
Yeah, we were discussing this after I did this drawer component for this app. Yeah, like there are so many this kind of component ideas that we have in our heads, and they will be joined to our component list sooner or later. So the navigation drawer is one of those. It's in our road plans, but I cannot give you an exact date. Like when it's gonna be released or something, but yeah, you can use this methodology to implement your own navigation drawer as you wish. And it's limitless, like what you can do with this. Like everything that you can do in a screen, you can do this in the navigation drawer.
All right, I think we have some time for a quick another demonstration, and actually I will show you an example app. Some of our users have expressed interest in creating an OTP screen and have, inquired about automating the cursor jump to the next text input. So I think I can share my screen to demonstrate here, I guess. Can you see my screen now? Can you see my screen?
Sorry, I was muted. I can see your screen.
Okay, I thought that my internet was, it was unstable. So today just to share a quick tutorial, let's say, on how to achieve this seamlessly within Draftbit using built-in features like the text input and leveraging the focus input action under the triggers tab. And you can easily design and implement this functionality. Although I set up a template screen here, remember we already have template screens available here. And I'll just be adding actions and setting up triggers from the triggers tab on the right panel here. So in this template, we have 4 customized text input fields, as you see. So here's what you'll do next. Head over the trigger tab. Let's choose this one. And on change text, this is the set variable. And after selecting on change text, we add a text set variable. I mean, it's coming by default, but this sets the value of the text input to the new text input value from the action data. So after that, from the drop down, add the focus input, focus text input action, and select the subsequent input components here from text input 1 to text input 2. So here, and we will do the same thing here. We will add a set variable. And this time our screen variable is a text input 2 value. And the new value will be new text input 2 value. And after that, we will add, again, focus text input. And this time, we will select text input 3. OK. And for text input 3, we will do the same. Set variable. Here, the new value will come from action data. And we'll add, again, focus text input. And we will jump into text input 4. OK, here. And for text input 4, here, let's try. Oh, we didn't do this for text input 4, sorry. So set variable here, the new text input 4 value. Okay, and after that, of course, you can append additional actions if desired, such as navigating to the home screen or just any other functionality you wish to integrate. So let's try like this. On change text, and also you can add on return key if you don't want to automatically jump into the next text input. So yeah, basically like this. At least 2 or 3 customers were asking for it, so I thought it would be valuable to share. Okay. Yeah. So, do we have any other questions? We have, yeah, from Daniel. Is there a way to run a custom function or transform on the focus input action? For example, if your text inputs were being generated from a list instead of being manually added, could you add some logic to focus to the next list item?
Yeah, if you generate these text boxes using the list, there's no direct way to do that from the builder. Yeah, I have to play around with it a little bit, but I don't think that it's going to be possible. If you want to do that kind of custom logic, again, you have to use some custom component features and use ref hook of the React Native to implement that. But yeah, like we can just have a look at it. It's like from time to time we receive this kind of requests, which we haven't tried before in the draft bits. And once those requests comes over, we just try to do them, and if it is possible, we share with the community. So this is one of those questions. But I don't think that you can do it directly from the builder, but from the custom code, it is possible, Daniel.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any other questions? No. I think we can wrap up. What do you think? So what did we do today? Today we explored some new map features and custom-made shareable components, thanks to Sefa. And a special shout out to Mike for joining us today. Your insights and experience with both in JetMe and in Draftbit added immense value to our session for sure. It's always
Thank you.
great to hear from users like you who are actively implementing what we offer in real world scenarios. So thank you very much, Mike, for joining us today.
Thank you for asking me to be a part of it today. We're just excited to hopefully get our app into the App Store soon. And thanks for all your help. I know Maruf is not on the call here and Rahul, but thank you again for all your help over the course of this journey we've been on.
Okay. So, of course, big thanks to our active audience for their engaging questions. And for a deeper dive into the topics discussed, we'll soon share detailed tutorials on our platform. So stay tuned for those updates. And
We can create a tutorial for that navigation drawer for Godrej, so that they can implement their own drawers, kind of thing, until we provide the native component for that.
Yeah, that would be great. So yes, what was I saying? Yeah, mark your calendars for our next office hours. And of course, questions might pop up later. And when they do, remember that our support team and community forum are always available to assist you. Yeah. Thank you, Sefa. Thank you, Mike. Do you have any other words, any thoughts to share?
Thank you, everyone who were here to listen to us. I hope you get something out of this 1 hour that you shared with us. Thank you.
All right, then. Thank you. Take care. See you later. And happy building. Bye.
Thank you.